Hello, this is John Golda with Solid Rock Marriage Restoration, and I appreciate you joining me for this quick video, sharing marriage insights, things that have helped me and my wife Tanya in our marriage, and what we see helping other couples and individuals we're working with. One thing I'm going to talk about today is something that's actually stopping couples from making progress, stopping couples from healing and transforming their marriages. And I think it's pretty important because I see it all the time. And so here goes. This is what I call stop waiting for your spouse to save your marriage. All too often, married Christians, they know their marriage is in trouble. They know it's struggling. They want it to be better, but they get frozen. They decide for different reasons that they're going to wait for their spouse to take the next step. They're not going to take action until their spouse does. And in some cases, they feel like they've done all they can do. In some cases, they feel like they can't have an impact on their marriage until their spouse makes a change. In other cases, they feel like they can't make progress just going forward as one spouse to impact and save and restore a marriage. And so what's important about that is, just a couple of thoughts here. If your marriage is struggling and you're waiting for someone else to take the first step and you're not willing to take that next step, well, then you know where it's going to go. It's going to go nowhere. And you're totally giving up your ability to influence your marriage and to heal it. And you're turning that over to wait on someone else instead of perhaps the desire we have is both spouses falling over each other, trying to be the first one to work towards restoration and healing. And I know that doesn't happen all the time, right? But what I'm going to say is it's great if both spouses want to walk in unison to heal and restore the marriage. This is always the best situation. However, one spouse working alone to transform themselves and their marriage can have a huge impact, and it can often draw the other spouse in to that same effort. And it can bring them to a place where they're willing to now engage, where before they weren't willing to engage. In fact, like I'm saying, sometimes it's only after one spouse has made those changes that the other one looks back and says, wow, I see change in my spouse. I think there's hope. I think this is real. I think things could be worked out. And they won't see that if nobody takes the first step. So I think that's important. And it's if neither spouse is willing to take the first step or the next step, then the effort to heal and restore the marriage isn't going to go anywhere. So I've witnessed a number of times couples or individuals get frozen in place, unable to take the next step toward creating that thriving marriage they're looking for. They know they're struggling. They know they want more. They may be facing divorce. They may be separated already. Maybe they're just unsatisfied with the feeling of love and that special connection in their marriage. It feels more like roommates. But they're unwilling to take that next step to get that deeper connection with their spouse and to work on restoring the marriage, because they're waiting for their spouse to either do it with them or for their spouse to take the first step and do it first. And the challenge in that is that when you do that, you're yielding your best opportunity to influence that in your marriage, because you have the most control over what you choose to do and how you act and how you pursue transformation and healing in your marriage. You can't control your spouse. You can influence them, mostly by showing change and taking steps yourself in this case. I mean, I do understand the pain that these couples and individuals are experiencing, but still it's about making that progress, making that next step. So in one example, I'll share, one spouse, they're unable to take that next step. They think they can only move forward if their husband or wife will come with them from the start. And so they don't take the step. They're waiting. They're hoping. And in a completely different situation, a spouse feels like, I've done everything I can do, so I'm just not going to take another step until my husband or wife takes the next step without me to go forward, and then I'll join in. And so once again, not even trying to go at the same time in that case. I just want to mention that when we make that decision to wait and to wait for our spouse to take that next step, we could be passing up the opportunity to really heal and transform our marriage. So I want you to think about that. There's some folks that need to hear that right now. I want to share with you that nearly half the folks that we work with in our 90-day Marriage God's Way with MAA program are individuals that are working to save their marriage without their spouse being directly engaged. They're committed to transforming themselves in their marriage. They're committed to learning how to be a godly spouse, to live out the example and to change, to capture their spouse's attention and draw them in, and to really do everything they can do to heal and restore the marriage. And so what I see, they're committed to taking action. They're not waiting. And to see and hear their feedback and what they're experiencing is so encouraging. And to see how it can very often lead the other spouse that's not engaged to get involved when they see a change. They know that they're giving their marriage the best chance they can for restoration and healing. They know that doing nothing and waiting is not going to impact their marriage in a good way. In fact, the longer you wait, the harder it gets, because you continue to struggle, grow further apart. People start to lose hope, give up. And so they're willing to take a chance that they're going to invest in themselves and get the help they need. And they're not waiting for a guarantee that their spouse is coming in it with them. They're going to go out there and try and take control of their situation with God's help and do everything they can do to really save and restore their marriage. So what I would say, just as I close, whether you're considering getting help like a marriage coaching program or you're already involved in a program, don't wait for your spouse to fully engage in order for you to do so. Choose to be the more mature spouse. Get things started. Take that next step. And see that when your spouse sees the transformation, the change in you, they'll be more likely to take that next step to join you and to follow your lead. On the other hand, if you wait, take no action, you already know where that ends up. It's just going to be more of what you already have and not taking action. So absolutely try to get your spouse involved to heal and transform your marriage. That's awesome. But if they won't or won't yet, don't let that create paralysis on your side where you don't take any action. You may miss the opportunity to influence them and to save and restore your marriage. So I hope this has been helpful. I know there's some folks that need to hear this. I see it often as a challenge people are facing, really uncertain of being able to make that decision to go forward on their own, to really seek transformation. If you want to learn more about how we help Christians heal and restore their marriages and how we might be able to help you too, I encourage you to check out our website. That's solidrockmarriagerestoration.com. And you can see testimonials there. You can see more information about our program, and you can see some options of how to get involved, whether that's scheduling a call to learn more about the program, or whether that's joining our free Facebook group if you're not already a member, or getting on our email newsletter list. Different ways to get involved. We hope this has helped you, and may the grace and peace of our Lord Jesus be with you. Have a great day.